So you don't have COVID.
I don't have COVID, and neither does my husband, which is really, really good news. So I
Yeah,
feel I feel a lot better knowing that.
that's I think should be our new greeting is like, "Hey, you got COVID? Nope. Hey, you
Yeah.
got COVID? Yep." Because you really go one or two ways with your conversation after
Mhm.
that. You really know how somebody is.
Yes, exactly. How are you?
Don't have COVID.
You don't have COVID. All right, then we can begin.
2 poets, talk about motherhood, and what are we talking about today?
Well, I have been thinking and writing and talking about little big truths.
Ooh.
Um, this week, I just gave a workshop on the little big truth. um, Short poems, very short poems that um, kind of exist above reservoirs of meaning.
Mm.
So I've been thinking about that a
Tell
lot
me
lately.
more. Tell
And
me more, tell me more.
so I'm teaching these workshops for military and military families on
Your
things.
thing.
And this week I keep calling them little big truths because um, to call them little poems is undermining their power, but to call them big poems is to disregard their, how condensed they are.
The
So it's kind of,
stature.
yeah, it's like a little big truth. Um, and I've been writing some of those this week and last week because I've been so busy that I haven't really had time to sit and write what
Mm,
I feel is a whole poem. So I'm just writing little big truths whenever I can.
yeah,
And yeah,
yeah.
so
Hit me with one. Hit me.
hit chat. Let's see.
I'm very musical today. Hit me. I started the day with some Al Green. I think that's why.
uh, how about begin with a genuine lack of time, which is simple enough. None of us are given all the days we need. Another one,
Mm.
Bukowski said a poem must tear from within you like a rocket. Well, good for him. I've had it with rockets like
Keith
that
Bukowski.
one.
Was he a mom?
Huh?
Was he a mom?
Probably not. I'm gonna say
Probably
gonna say no.
not.
Do not wait to learn to write poems in expensive cabins by the lake.
I'm seeing a theme here. Are you seeing a theme? Are you feeling a theme? Was there a
I am,
theme when you were writing?
yeah, I'm feeling a couple of different themes going on in this. So I kind of want to keep working on this. This is sort of a project that normally I only have, like, in my own writing, I have to do it very quickly. And this is something that actually I kind of want to keep working on and building on.
Mm,
So
mm,
yeah.
yeah. I mean, definitely the obvious one that's jumping out to me is time and the
Hmm.
lack of it. And, how we're always circling around. How do I make space for my company, my children, the type of parent I want to be,
Hmm.
and um, my art, my creativity, my self expression, my self nurturance, my care. Um, and yeah, I hear you saying, or what I was taking from that was like, fuck it, just
Yeah. Work
mm,
with what you got. I mean, do you ever think, like, I it's not that I wouldn't jump on the chance to have a writing retreat, to go live in a cabin for a month and just write. But do you ever think, um, and I don't know if you've done these before, but do you ever think that if you were given all this time and all this space and all this quiet, that you wouldn't work as well as you do?
I
Or
I'd sleep the entire month. I can tell you right now, I'd be fast asleep. You'd come knock on my door and be like, "It's time to wake up." And I would go, "How much time has passed?" And you would say, "The entire month, Lindsay."
yeah. So you would use it for something other than creative space.
Well, and yet, to your question, I've really been exploring what is creative space. And I think we can sometimes really idealize and sort of other that this creative space has to be this, I'm picturing a cognac and like a cigarette and oh, now I'm writing.
Mhm.
um, Turns out you can have a cognac and a cigarette right in the middle of your day anywhere.
Yes, you can. Yes.
And
Yeah, and you can build a poem on pretzels. Like,
pretzels and popcorn, you know me. Yeah, yeah.
I know how you get by.
Or I mean, some I've been enjoying lately, for example, sitting with the kids at dinner, and we've been writing poems and
Nice.
exploring what that means, or really playing with this idea that you can lace creativity through snatches of moments throughout the day. And so, how
Mhm,
I draw creative inspiration could be playing with words and poem with my children. Or last night, we finished dinner and I just started dancing, and then we sort of fall into these moments where that'll just be an organic, where one of us starts dancing and then another joins in and then another joins in, and we just take turns, one being the leader and the other has to follow it. And then
mhm.
somebody might start using the table as like a bit of a tabla, and then another person might get some sort of costume and use that. And all of that, I think, is the call to create.
Yeah, yeah, and isn't that a survival skill? That
Yes.
it's not. I'm I always get really kinda I'm annoyed by, uh, when people say that, you write poetry just to express yourself, to get these feelings and thoughts out of you because you just can't, like, they're in your way and you just need to get them out.
Yeah,
Um, and I don't agree with that. I don't feel like they leave you. I don't feel like they're in my way. Um, and I feel like creating is something that we do to to communicate, to be together as a family, to be together as a community family. I mean,
absolutely.
these are survival skills. Um, it's not a job skill.
Uh,
Yeah.
Well, I would say, one of the things that I love about our friendship is how you inspire me to return to the craft of writing, of performing, and really continue to study the craft, to look to our ancestors and really challenge myself in that way, right? Like, I
Mhm.
wouldn't be working on a heroic couplet long form poem if it wasn't for you. That's for sure.
What?
But I think that there's two sides to that. There is the you must create the same way you must breathe, the same way you must feel that sense of belonging and nurture and care as this human animal.
Yeah.
Um, and then there is the craft that is sometimes massaged more, sometimes worked over more to be presented. And I
Mhm.
think we often can really make monsters of ourselves, feeling as though um, all of the work has to be this perfect, presentable prose, as
Mhm.
opposed to, no, I got to dance today because it's the same as I needed to breathe or I needed to take a walk or, you know what
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah. I really strongly believe in the idea of artistic
mean?
composting.
Mhm.
Yeah, there's one of the little big truths in here. Um, there is no such thing as a poem not worth writing, or a tree without roots in the dirt. Feel like you need to write like nothing. There is nothing. There's no poem that's not worth writing.
Mm,
And I hate it when poems are killed before they're even made, you know,
yeah,
before they even hit the page. So, yeah.
yeah. There are
Well,
more. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I was just gonna say there's more poems out there than we realize, I think.
Well, I'm about to go down the rabbit hole mentally of the difference between a great quote and a great poem,
Mm.
especially, do I have to have said it and somebody else quotes me for it to be a quote? What's
I
the
think
rules on them?
that is the function of quotation, right? I mean, isn't that what
I
different
can't I can't write down my own quote.
No, you can quote yourself.
I can quote myself.
Oh, yeah. You shouldn't plagiarize yourself. I've had students do that before, and I was like, "Please." Can't plagiarize yourself, you can quote yourself.
About quoting yourself, that seems like the height of egotistical. And yet
No.
sometimes well, 2 things happen. Either people quote me back to myself and I'm like, "I said that shit? Ooh, I was having a good day." And
Yeah,
then there's sometimes where I quote myself and I'm like, "I'm really sorry that that happened. I'm
yeah,
sorry
yeah.
to have put myself on that pedestal where I now have decided that I earn to be quoted."
Yes. I like it when people quote me and I have to ask them what I meant. Like, I don't remember saying that, or I don't remember why I said that, or I don't remember what my objective was. Um,
Can I get a context? Where were we? What was I wearing?
yeah, yeah.
Well, and especially if it's like it really changed their life
Mhm.
and so I'm just like, that clearly flowed through me.
Yep.
That was higher purpose talking out of my mouth in that moment. And the best is when they quote you to you in the
Mhm.
moment that you needed to hear the same advice you gave. I'm like,
Yeah.
"Ooh, you just saved me from a mistake. Where'd you learn that from you? Get out of here. I've been doing this shit wrong."
Get out of here. That's a really nice gift you can give yourself without even knowing it. Taking your own advice from someone else.
Yes. It's like
Yeah.
little nuggets that you can plant of like future help moments.
Mhm. Yeah.
Go out and plant future help moments.
Yeah. So I have to ask because you've mentioned that you guys were writing poems, and that you're working on a heroic couplet
Mm.
poem as well. Do you have anything?
Ay, ay. I should get the kids are right outside on the swing.
Yeah.
Taylor's poem is about being an egg,
Oh,
and we've already talked about her foray into veganism.
okay. Which you're thrilled about.
Look, here's the thing is I know my kids and your kid and all these kids out here are
Mhm.
going to save the world.
Yes, they better.
My daughter decreasing admissions as we speak, right? The problem is when it comes time for me to cook, and
Mhm.
it is increasing my workload.
Mhm.
Got to take one for the environment. Pour one out.
Yeah.
So her poem was about the life of the unborn chick inside the egg.
Okay.
And I gotta say, Cohen and I really had to sit back and think about it.
Yeah.
I didn't have eggs for breakfast the next morning.
It's impact.
Impact.
Mhm.
Granted, we all know I don't eat breakfast, but still, it was it was deep. It was deep. And
Oh,
so, I
really?
mean, I should ask her to come share it, but we will never get the show back on
Yeah. When she's on the swings. I mean, let's be real.
TV.
There's YouTube shows and there's swings.
I know where I want to be. No,
Yeah.
just kidding. Yeah, not
Yeah.
because I fell off the swing. Whatever. Um,
So this is our week.
we did it. We
Yeah.
made it another week, Mama.
Yeah. One more week. We're both upright. We don't look too bad.
I mean,
It's
we're propping ourselves up with our arms.
shit, we both are. That's right. We're doing great.
I already showed you the doll that was meant to be me that my children created that is also being propped up by puppet strings.
Mhm.
And they are here to teach us
Yes. Yes. Well, they do it naturally.
so naturally. Oi.
Absolutely.
Here, wait, here she comes. Taylor, will you come share your poem about
About the egg,
you
do you feel like sharing it?
feel like sharing?
You say it with me.
I don't you gotta no.
My Alfie was a
Oh, this guy, his poem's gonna be about growing pains.
Mommy,
Oh, yeah.
Okay, go ahead, finish off our show today.
Yeah.
Mommy, I want one of these. I want some of these. Mommy,
Performance pressure.
Mommy,
Performance pressure.
what's that?
Pressure.
How many of these?
Let's end it there.
Eggs, eggs. Why did it have to be those eggs? Those baby chicks were about to hatch out of those eggs, but no. Those mean and cruel farmers.
I like it.
Scene over. Mommy, how many? Mommy, how
Way
many
to
can I have?
stick that landing, you know?
Mommy, how many?
Just
can I have?
and
Mommy, how many can I have?
3.
How about 4? Well, how
Okay, so your week is spoken for. Next week, I'm gonna have May
Yeah.
while
Yeah.
we're doing this.
I want to see a poem from May, and next week I'll share one of my new pieces, not the heroic
Mommy,
couplet piece,
Mommy,
because there's
how many
the
can I
next
have
year of
now?
my life.
Yeah,
Please.
that sounds good. I want to hear it.
Done.
Cool.
This is where we're at. We
Yeah.
communicate with hand signals.
Colin, did you have your Colin, how much can you have?
Mwah.
I love it. Mwah.
You had $4.